episode of The Square and the Round coming at you. Chris Kelly here. There's B.B. Shea. I just asked him anything good going on, and he said, not one thing.
I wish that was exciting. I'm boring, man. I've got nothing going on.
It's a boring life. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you something that's weighed on me since last week's Square and the Round.
Okay.
You called me jaded.
Yeah.
Because I like just simple things like watching baseball on TV or football on TV, not going to the games. I like just going to the beach and reading. I don't care about going to wine country or that U2 Sphere thing or whatever. Now, why is I started thinking about that later. I thought, well, that really hurts because we're friends.
I didn't know that upset you so much. I'm sorry about that.
Well, I don't know that jaded is the right word. I mean,
maybe jaded isn't the right word.
I mean, simple.
Simple, yeah.
I've been to things.
Yeah.
I've been to Italy. I've been to England. But I don't care to go back.
Fair.
Okay, all right.
I guess jaded just wasn't the right word. Because jaded typically means I've seen and done so many cool things that, cool things just don't affect me anymore.
No, I thought jaded meant like so done with life or just kind of like bad attitude about everything. Like I'm over all of it. You know what I mean? Like I don't have any. I'd say I'm jaded about politics because I have no faith in politicians.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, I don't know. Maybe that's like just apathetic. I don't know. Is that the right word?
Well, apathetic is like putting off, won't get involved with things.
I don't really care.
I think simplistic. I think the simple things in life. I care about pickleball.
Yeah.
Going to the gym. My family. I should probably put that in a different order, but the beach, reading.
It's funny. People I know don't think you actually like pickleball that much. They think it's all trash. They think you're lying about it.
Why would they say that?
So I saw your new commercial.
Oh, did you like
I saw
that?
your new commercial. I was eating Mexican food on Sunday after I got done playing some golf.
Yeah.
And your pickleball commercial came on, and I was eating with a buddy, and he goes, does Chris Kelly really like playing pickleball? I'm like, that's all he does, man. That's his favorite thing on the planet. It's no joke.
I'm playing today.
It's real.
It's the two. I love my family, and I love spending time with my family. Other than that, I'm either on the pickleball court, or I'm at home, or I'm at the gym.
Because you look disheveled today. I'm assuming you just got back from the gym again.
I did, and I'll tell you. I'll tell you a few things. The reason I'm disheveled, we're taping this before Halloween, and I've got a Halloween costume I'm doing with someone, and I have to not shave. Okay,
I gotcha.
So that's why, but nobody knows that.
Gotcha.
So you'll only know that if you're tuning into the Square and the Round. This actually drops on Halloween.
Yes, it will. Absolutely.
So, and then the other reason is, I went, and the gym I go to has two private showers. And two people jumped into them ahead of time, and I was like, well, screw it. I'm just going to go. It's just you.
Yeah, it's just me. I don't care what you look
great.
like.
You, as always.
Bro, listen, I've got...
Oh, wait a minute. You have stains on the belly.
My other podcast that I do, I've got some food stains because we were eating in somebody you know's car, and it's pretty tight in there.
Yeah.
Three big guys in a car, and I got cheesesteak grease on me.
Oh, you're a cheesesteak man.
I love a cheesesteak. It's just... The ones we had weren't good. The ones we had were not good.
Let me ask you this about food. I'm glad you brought that up. Are you into this? I just read this. Do you think this is the future? And I've heard about this for many years, and other countries do it. Tyson Foods now is one of the biggest meat producers in America. They are investing in insect protein because they think it'll be the wave of the future. At first for just dog food, but I just read that they've invested in an ingredients maker that makes protein, or basically little bits of meat out of insects, crickets and so forth.
It's going to take a while to compel people to eat that stuff.
I agree, especially here. But now, when I used to see Al Roker or whoever go over to China for the Olympics, and there would be insects like crickets, or maybe wherever they were. It's out there. You could eat fried cricket or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And this group says that now they're in Arkansas, and they don't think it's for human consumption yet, but they do see a day because cows, of course, farm the land. The eco-friendly way to do this is to get protein out of insects, and they'll never go away. Insects will be plentiful forever.
True.
I do see a day. I don't think I'll live to see it, or you'll live to see it.
I hope not.
I don't either. God,
I don't want to be around for that.
I tried to be a vegetarian one time, a vegan.
Yeah.
It lasted about 2 weeks. I started it. What a great idea! I started it November 10th, right before Thanksgiving. As stupid as you can possibly be. And I remember thinking, and I read it's the way to eat. It's vegetarian is the way to eat. And in fact, I just saw a guy who's running a 4-mile leg of a race. He's 103 years old. And they said, what's your advice for long life? And he said, don't eat meat and exercise and have fun.
Liar. That's garbage. I don't believe that dude at all.
I do.
He just got lucky, man.
No,
that's
I disagree.
all it was.
I disagree. I do think that if all of us just ate plants and maybe a little fish, we'd live longer and be healthier. You don't think so?
Just because he can run doesn't mean he's healthy.
Well, he's 103 and can run 4 miles.
I mean, I'm just saying,
that's
man.
Pretty healthy.
We as humans are supposed to eat meat. I don't understand why this whole don't eat meat thing is so big.
I don't know if that's true. I feel like if you really led a vegetarian lifestyle, and now there are some vegans who eat French fries and cheese curd, or French fries.
Yeah.
Now that's not going to get it. But if you ate, someone said to me once, the best diet is eat real food, nothing processed.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Mostly plants, not too much, and you'd be just fine. So if you really did eat 90% plants and maybe some fish, I do think you'd be healthier. Now, you think
no protein whatsoever, I think, is garbage. See, that's the thing. The people who eat protein, they're like, well, it's a burger, it's protein. No, if you cook at home for every meal, which isn't ideal, then you'll probably, live a healthy life. If you're cooking yourself steak and chicken and ground beef like on your own accord, then you probably live an okay life.
Well, what do vegetarians do for protein? I think I hear spinach has a lot of protein.
Does it? And probably peanuts, I guess. You get
nuts.
Nuts, you get protein there.
That Mediterranean diet, nuts and seeds, and the protein comes from, I believe it's the spinach. I believe it's the leaf. And anyway, a vegetarian would tell you that. And I have to think that that's probably
But we have
true.
evolved from hunter-gatherer civilizations. We are meant to eat meat.
Well, if you ate lean cuts of meat, but now we've evolved to burgers and burritos.
That's what I was supposed to say.
You're right.
If you cook on your own terms, then you can probably live a healthy lifestyle eating meat.
Well, this guy he was 103 and or 104, and he's running a 4-mile leg of a race. Now that's pretty healthy,
I guess. Good for him. Whatever.
And they say, "What's the secret?" Now, some people say, "What's the secret living 100?" And they say, "I drink 2 bourbons a day."
Exactly. Everybody's got a different story. Like there's just people who eat or drink Dr. Pepper every day.
But who are we to lecture? Because here I am, disheveled as can be, and you've got cheesesteak grease on your gut. Mm-hmm. Do you think, though, that I do think that insects might be? I mean, I'm talking 100 years from now.
Yeah,
because some countries already do it.
Now I know, don't disrespect to China, but this is America. We're not going to eat insects here. That's never going to happen.
You don't think?
I don't think so.
I do.
Unless you lather it up with some Lowry seasoning or some ketchup or something.
That's where I was going. When I went vegetarian, one Thanksgiving many years ago. We were talking about meat, and I was like, why can't you have a fancy vegetarian restaurant? And somebody said, because you can't do, like a steak, you can make it a million different ways, and it cooks up beautifully, or chicken, or whatever, lamb, all those things. And it's true. It's so much more versatile to do nice. Like, you can't go somewhere and charge somebody $50. You can for a steak meal, but you can't for a vegetarian meal.
No.
Don't you think?
No.
That might be one reason.
Yeah.
Like, there's no real fancy, at least not around here, vegetarian restaurant.
Well, because it's all because I think there's so many plants in this plant-based product. It's so cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's like there was some work that went into slaughtering that cow. You know what I'm saying?
But that's another thing. I'm kind of an animal rights person.
Are you?
Only when I see a documentary.
Really like
when I see a documentary about it. My daughter's very into animals, so I feel a little bad. I did read Skinny Bitch. It was a book that came out about 20 years ago. And they were talking about it was a book called Skinny Bitch. Now there's Skinny Bitch products all over. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, okay. I know. Yeah, I didn't know that started.
You
from
don't go down that aisle.
No,
of
I don't go
grocery.
down that. Of course not.
I'm sure not.
I'm on the meat aisle.
Yeah, but I
don't even stock that aisle.
There's
every aisle but
it's
that
called
one.
Skinny Bitch salad dressing.
I've seen that.
Seasoning.
Yes, yeah.
But it was a book called Skinny Bitch, and they went into the horrible way we treat pigs and cows, not just in the slaughtering of them, but the inhumane way we do it.
Yeah.
The one thing in this book I'll never forget, I read this, they said the one thing, they say you can disregard and not pay any attention to any page in this book except this one, and they said here's the one thing you should not eat. And I love it. And you do too, I'm sure. Cheese.
Love cheese. Oh my gosh.
Great.
It is. It's amazing. Just because there's so many types. Well, and it's such a versatile food, too.
It is. But they said it's like the worst thing you can eat. It's nothing but fat and calories, and it comes from the cow, and the cow's not treated well, and all of those things.
Everything that tastes good is bad for you.
Well, I don't know about that.
There's nothing that's good for you that tastes good.
what is the best tasting healthy thing that's really good for you, that really tastes great?
Well, okay, what's healthy? I mean, because,
right.
you can be healthy and eat a steak.
You can. Steak, but a steak is going to have a lot of fat in it, I think. And the more fat, the better, more flavor.
Because, I mean, like, you can eat a nice piece of lean chicken or a nice piece of lean turkey.
It's okay. But it's a lot better if you fry it up.
Or, like, what's the best tasting vegetable, I guess?
Well, I like spinach, I like broccoli, and I like asparagus.
I like a broccoli with some chili flake on top.
Yeah,
with some cheese.
You're not a vegetable. You're not a vegetable eater.
I don't mind vegetables. I had a green bean today at our meeting, and
how was it?
I had a green bean, and a coworker goes, "Damn, baby, Shea, I didn't know that you ate green things." I'm like, I like a green bean.
It's rare for you, though.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Do you, what's the best thing, or what's the worst? What's the best thing for you on the Thanksgiving plate? That's coming up here around the corner.
Maybe a green bean.
Probably,
but that's all starch.
But we do
isn't it?
But we do a green bean casserole.
I see. I just eat regular green beans.
You don't do green bean casserole?
No.
Oh, you're missing out on that.
I see. I disagree. I can't stand white people casserole and everything.
You call that white people casserole?
Yes, casserole and everything.
That's well, we do that.
Yeah, we make a casserole out of anything.
We'll make
cookie casserole.
Oh God, that's
good. It's a salad casserole.
That would be really good.
Yeah.
7-layer salad. You ever do a 7-layer salad?
No.
Bacon, mayonnaise, cheese. It's right up your alley.
That's good for you.
It has lettuce on the bottom.
That I love.
It has lettuce on the
bottom.
The
problem is just got the word salad in it.
It does. 7-layer salad is good.
Because I won't even eat deviled eggs because I'm Christian,
You won't deviled eggs because you're Christian?
Yeah, so
because of the devil.
We were having deviled eggs upstairs. Go, BB Shea, you want one of these? That's too devilish for me. I can't do it.
I like a deviled egg.
That's too anti.
You don't care for a deviled egg?
Can't do a deviled egg. No.
That's mayonnaisey. You don't like mayonnaise? Do you like mayonnaise?
I really don't.
Oh, I do.
If it's on, and I don't know, it's weird. I'm weird with mayonnaise.
I like a deviled egg. Here's another food question for you. I just read this. Are you okay? All right, let's say you were the group of 8 people.
Yeah.
And you're at dinner at a decently nice restaurant, and 4 people have the meal come out to them first, and the waitress says, "Oh, sorry, it'll be a few minutes," and it's like 2 or 3 minutes. Are you okay with if you get yours, are you okay eating it before anybody else gets their food?
You know what's interesting? I never thought about this until I got to college.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in college, me and my friends would go out to eat, and I would get my food, and I'd start eating, and they'd go, "Bro, that's rude."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never even thought about it.
Really?
And ever since then, I've waited till people got their food.
I wait, too.
I wait, but if people before me want to start eating, I don't call them out on it. Do your thing. I don't care, but I will wait until everybody gets their food.
Do you remember, I think you were there, about a year ago, we went out to a lunch, and we were at that axe throwing place.
Yes,
and
yes.
The food came, and I got mine, and several people got theirs. Probably 10 people at the table. And one guy said, "I'm going to eat, I don't care," and made a deal out of it.
Yeah, made a whole deal about it.
Because he did that, and I thought he made himself into a jerk by doing that. Because otherwise, I might have done it too. Because others were saying, and I would do this too. If I didn't have mine, I'd be like, "Go ahead, eat it, please, I don't care." But he's like, "I don't understand this. My food's getting cold, and I'm going to eat it, and the rest of you are stupid." And he basically cleaned the plate before I even got my food.
Yes.
And so I thought right then, I'm going to wait to eat no matter what.
Just to spite him.
Just to spite him.
100%.
And then he finished, and I'm like, "Don't you look like the jerk?"
And we're all eating, having a good time. You're just sitting there.
I'll tell you, I think my food was in front of me before. And like one person didn't get it, and I refused to eat it because of his actions that day.
He's one of those dudes.
He will.
He is one of those guys.
And not only did he do it, he said, "The rest of you can go get your food cold. I'm going to eat my food." It's like, okay, all right, enough already. I wait.
Yes.
The breakdown on it was 38% said it's fine to go ahead and start eating, but the other 62% said no, don't eat.
It's like I do what I do. I don't tell people what to do. I just mind my own business. Man. I
would not eat it. I would not eat it until everybody got their food.
How are you about Thanksgiving's coming up? You mentioned this. This has kind of been a hot topic on social media about your food touching.
I don't mind it.
Like if your corn spilled over into the mac and cheese, or your beef. I love that, man.
I do too. I don't mind that at all.
I will throw everything into my mashed potatoes.
I have no problem with that. Usually I don't do it intentionally. I don't mix them together. But if they touch, I like that. I don't have any.
Have you ever had one of those KFC bowls where they do that? They just throw everything in there. That's the greatest thing that's ever been invented, by the way.
I haven't been to KFC in some time.
Wow.
I have. It's been a while. Are you a KFC person?
I don't go enough, but I go. Whenever I go, I'm always like, why don't I go here more?
Really?
I love KFC.
Is that good?
Yes.
You think so? Really?
KFC's fantastic.
Really? Well, they have a vegetarian chicken.
They do.
They have
they got that plant-based chicken.
But have you had that?
I have.
Oh, really?
I have. It was disgusting.
You hated it.
It's like a plant-based nugget. It's
terrible. Like those. Is the texture?
Yes, it's the texture. And people you can't tell the difference. You can't tell the difference.
Well, that's the thing. It's all about the feel, I think. it's never quite right. Anytime I've had a burger or something that's plant-based.
Like the Impossible Whopper.
Have you had that?
I have.
And what'd you think of that?
Terrible.
Really?
I can tell the difference.
You could?
Yes.
You know, they used to, before your time, I don't think you were even born, but McDonald's one time had a seaweed burger. It was,
Really?
yes, many years ago. It was made out of seaweed. And you're probably young. That's probably 25 years. And they said it was called, the Mick something, I don't know, Mick Plant or something. Or although I hear they're coming back.
I think that was the McPlant. I remember that. Yeah.
But it was not good. I felt like it was too chewy. Now, it's been a long time, so now it feels like maybe the time. And I have heard other people say the Impossible Burger is exactly, the Whopper is really good. But... You know,
I had it when it first came out. Maybe something changed, but when it first came out, it was just not good to me.
And back to your opening point, it's also not good for you. It's
exactly.
It's got all the cheese and it's a ton of calories.
Yeah.
And the bread, all of that.
It's like if you really want to be healthy, just get it without the bun, get it without the cheese. Just eat the meat.
Right.
Yeah.
This is just made for vegetarians.
Yeah,
it's like 100%. You can eat vegetarian and still be unhealthy.
Yeah.
I wondered how you'd feel about that table thing. I couldn't remember which camp you fell into.
Yeah,
I'm
a waiter. I like to wait.
I
on
wait
people.
too.
Yeah.
I always
think
wait.
It's polite.
I wait also. No question. Now, let's talk about television and movies. You're a Stranger Things person.
Love Stranger Things.
I do too. It's coming back eventually.
Yes.
I think the actor strike's still going on. Still going on?
I don't know. I feel like they resolved it.
They're close. I know the writer's strike they resolved.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. The writer's strike is over.
I read just today that the producers of Stranger Things are using every tool in the toolbox, including some CGI, to make the kids so they haven't aged as much as they really have. They want to make them look because in the time of the show, only like 4 years have passed, but in the real time, like 8 years, they've gone from being 12 to 20.
That's crazy.
It's a big
isn't it?
difference.
Yes.
Yeah. They look and sound a lot different.
That's what's so wild is I don't understand why they just don't adapt to the time frame, because the time frame really doesn't matter.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you can rewrite around that.
But it's so 80s focused. Eventually, they're going to have to get to the 90s.
Exactly. And I think that's totally fine. Why not? Yeah, I mean, there's good music there. There's good, aesthetics there. I think they could easily do it.
You may disagree with this. When were you born? What year were you born?
92.
Okay. I feel like, and I was born in the early 70s, so I remember some of the 70s. I remember the 80s, 90s, 2000s very well, and of course, 2010s, here we are in 2020s. I feel like the 80s have more of an identity. I felt like the 50s had a real identity. You immediately think of it, like Fonzie and Grease, and even though that was made in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then I think the 60s, like Flower Children and Vietnam, and 70s have a certain, and I think the 80s and the 90s to an extent. Since 2000, I don't think it's
the 2000s. Not much of a, there was no. It's just whenever I visualize it in my head, I think just shiny. I don't know why.
Everything's new.
Everything's shiny, like the back of a CD.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like hologrammy.
Yeah.
Square edges,
maybe. But the 80s, like when you say 80s music, TV, and all, it has a real identity. If I say the 2010s music, I don't know that it has nearly the same.
Yeah, it's because everything was music just turned into the Wild West.
Well, it's too fractured.
Exactly.
It's like you can. Yes. When in the 80s we all listened to the same radio stations, the Michael Jackson, Madonna.
We were all watching the same stuff on television.
Exactly.
Yes,
and all that's changed.
Pop culture was centrally based.
Yes.
Now pop culture is everything.
Yeah. It used to be the TV was the place everybody came together. Now you go off and watch your own device.
Exactly.
It sends everybody apart.
And see, that's why I was going to bring this up to you about recommending shows to people. I'm totally over that.
You're not doing that
I'm done
anymore?
recommending shows to people. I'm done taking recommendations from people.
Oh, you won't even
because
take
there's so many, and people are like, I need to watch a good show.
Yeah.
What's a good show? And you tell them, and then they never watch it.
Well,
I'm like,
too much on the plate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's plenty to go watch. You go figure out what to watch.
It's like overwhelming.
Absolutely.
That's why I watch so many reruns. That's why I watch those old shows. I watch West Wing, Sex and the City, Friends, Seinfeld, Three's Company.
Because it used to be that. It's like, have you seen Friends? Most likely, yes. Yeah. Have you seen Seinfeld? Most likely, yes. Now there's this show that there was one season on Netflix 5 years ago. Have you seen Zozo? Didn't even know it existed, bro.
Don't even know.
Didn't even know it was a thing.
When the Emmys, the Emmys started. The winning shows, like, what's Fleabag?
Exactly.
I don't know
what's
that
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? What is this?
Actually, I've seen both those. I have. I've seen Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and I've seen Fleabag.
Now, I will say...
Both are excellent, by the way.
I will say that there has been a good for some reason the Emmys do kind of are relevant because shows like Succession,
great.
People still watch that.
Great show.
Shows that you typically win, people will watch, but there's still so much that's just as good though.
Well, and that Fleabag, somebody, I think Rolling Stone did their list of greatest shows of all time, and Fleabag was number 1.
Isn't that wild?
Fleabag.
Rolling Stone's trash though. I can't trust them.
I think they just do a list to get people talking.
They do.
If they put Seinfeld as number 1, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. But Fleabag is like, it made me go, what is that? Now, then I watched it, and I liked it. It's only
and I
2
heard
seasons.
great things about it.
It's good. It's only 2 seasons. It's not the greatest show I've ever seen, but it's really good.
Yeah.
It wasn't groundbreaking, but it's funny. And it's like funny and heartbreaking at the same time. I think it's on Hulu. Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Waller-Bridge.
A little liberal for my taste, but okay. Sure.
Is it too feminine based too?
It's very feminine based. I didn't mind that. I don't mind those kind of. I mean, I'm a Sex and the City girl.
Okay.
I mean, I watch that all the time. You watch it?
Never seen it.
You watch
Never
a
seen an
reboot?
episode.
You need to get on Sex and the City.
So I'm watching Better Call Saul right now.
Now, I hear that's wonderful.
And
you like it?
I'm enjoying it. In the same universe as Breaking Bad, I don't think it holds a candle to.
You don't.
That's good as Breaking Bad.
That's why I didn't watch it. Breaking Bad, to me, is, you talk about Mount Rushmore of dramas.
It is.
Phenomenal.
It's ridiculous. But so Better Call Saul is a precursor.
Yes.
So I'm going to finish that and then watch Breaking Bad again.
Smart.
To see,
I've seen Breaking Bad twice. Excellent.
It's so good.
When Breaking Bad ended and Better Call Saul came out, I thought what you just said, can't hold a candle to it. But then people tell me it's really good.
It is good. It's not what I expected.
No,
it's really not. But it's still entertaining. It's
the interesting thing about Breaking Bad, and I'm doing this with Lost also. Now I watched Breaking Bad as it aired on television, so it's every week, and then it would take 6 months off and come back. And my son wanted to see it when he was 16. I said, all right, I'll watch it with you. It's really good parenting to show your kids about how to make methamphetamine.
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, we did that.
I think kids need to be exposed to stuff like that earlier.
Somebody
honestly.
said to me, then they said, why don't you show him Dexter, which is about a serial killer? And I said, well, that might be next on our list. And he goes, Jesus Christ, I was joking.
Yeah.
But he was 16.
Yeah.
So I showed him Breaking Bad. But when I watched it with him, of course, we streamed it. So we had all the shows right there. So we'd watch 2 or 3 a night. And you didn't have to take the time, 6 months off. It would go right from one to the next. But I didn't like it as much because the weight made it better.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
It's a different experience. I'm doing the same thing with Lost, which was a good show.
Yeah.
I'm showing that to my daughter. You watch that?
Never saw Lost. Heard good things about
it. Good show. Now, your thing about no longer taking recommendations. Yeah. Here's how that has gone. A good friend of mine said, watch The Bear on, I don't even know what it's
on Hulu now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you watch it?
I love The Bear.
I do too.
Yeah,
I think
great
it's fantastic.
show. Great show.
So I watched it, and I didn't see him for like 3 months. And I went to him and said, hey, I watched The Bear. He goes, oh, God, I forgot all about that. I forgot you even. I said, well, let's talk about it. He's like, well, it's passe now. It's like, but you recommended it to me.
That's old shit, man. We got new stuff going on.
He didn't even care that he didn't even remember recommending it to me.
Well, okay, let's do this. This will be the last one. If you had to recommend a show, this is not just for me, but for everybody, all the people listening or watching, what's one show that you would recommend?
Well,
people
Breaking
watch?
Bad, if you haven't seen it. I would highly recommend Breaking Bad. And I'll tell you, on a comedy note, I think Parks and Recreation is as funny as any show consistently. Seinfeld is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it has clunker episodes and real, it hits, of the 200 episodes, 30 of them are grand slams.
Okay.
But 10 of them or 20 of them are, strikeouts to me.
Yeah.
Parks and Recreation, it's like they're all doubles and triples, every one of them.
Really?
I don't think there's any episode of Parks and Recreation that is not like I didn't have a really good laugh at. And I like even Breaking Bad, which I love. You know that fly episode?
Yes, I was just thinking about that last night.
It.
It was such a throwaway episode.
It.
Yes.
It's awful.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even have to I told people when they watch the show, it's like you can skip that.
Skip it. It's
a
waste of an hour.
It's a waste of time. It's like, why'd you do that? There's a Sopranos episode where Tony Soprano, you watch that?
Yes. I just finished it actually not long ago. Love that show.
It's really strong.
Yeah.
Just what'd you think of the ending?
I didn't hate it.
I didn't either.
I didn't hate it.
I hated it at first.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, and the more I think about it, the more I like it.
Because there's so many things that could have happened.
Yeah.
And I just love the fact that they just let it go. They just let it be what it is.
I do too. And they didn't have to explain it or anything. Yeah. And it really, I think it's pretty powerful now, 15 years later. Anyway, there's one episode where Tony's like having a dream. Tony Soprano, he's on a horse and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's a throwaway, you know? And they only do about 10 to 13 episodes a season. Like, you better not give me a throwaway.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't throw one out. Yeah. Well, Parks and Recreation never threw away a show. And It never, I mean, I think it got a little bit worse toward the end, but not nearly like most shows. You know how most shows
They fall off.
will fall off?
They definitely do.
It didn't. It really didn't.
Yeah.
There are scenes and episodes in the last season of that show that are strong.
You know how many times I've tried to start watching that show?
Parks and Rec?
Yes.
I would give it, I'll tell you what, it really got better, which is rare. They made a cast change. One guy leaves, and they bring on Rob Lowe and another guy.
Yeah.
And it's better. It's
Really?
better. Yeah. I mean, it was good to start. Then it got better. I mean, I loved it.
Because like I've tried to start watching it like 3 or 4 times, and everybody goes, "You got to get past the first season." So I just skipped I didn't even watch the first season
really?
and went to season 2, episode 1.
Well, you probably should watch
And
the
still
first season.
couldn't get
I think you
into
should
it.
watch the first season, and I'm a big fan. I even liked the first season. I think it's one of the great shows. I mean, and I think on that Rolling Stone list, it was top 15.
Yeah, because you've never seen The Office, though, right?
No, but I hear that's really good, too.
I'm more in The Office camp. I've seen The Office 3 times all the way through.
Well, listen, everybody tells me The Office is great.
Yeah.
It's probably now I'm such a dirtbag that I'll just say, well, I'm not watching
You
it.
want to be one of those people. It's like when Game of Thrones was
Exactly,
popping.
I don't watch that.
You know,
Never watched
you're
it.
just one of the people who hasn't watched Game of Thrones.
Never watched Game of Thrones?
That's fair, man. I respect
Did you like
it
Game
at
of
this
Thrones?
point.
Do you like
no,
Game
I enjoyed it. It was fun while it was
I
happening.
heard the ending was awful.
Yeah, the last season was a waste, man.
I heard it was terrible.
But, you know, for the people who just don't watch stuff to not watch it, I love it. I love the hateration.
Oh, I never did. I didn't watch Star Wars ever until I was like 30. I mean, it took me forever to watch it. And really now I almost wish I hadn't. You know, that I wasn't
Same.
even part of that world.
I watched it when I was 23.
Yeah.
For the first time.
What's the
I
point?
think you have to be young in
I
the
do too.
time and
If
to
you're
really
8,
appreciate
it's
that.
amazing.
Yes.
But if you're 30, it's like, okay, it's good, but it's not the same magic.
Because the same thing happened to me with the Harry Potter movies. I just watched them all earlier this year.
Not my
and
thing.
No, it's just
not my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I think is the weakest, worst, best picture winner of all time that I've ever seen is Lord of the Rings. I got up and walked
Return
out
of
of
the
that.
King.
I walked out of that piece of crap.
I'm not mad at you.
That is the biggest piece of crap
Yeah.
I've ever seen, and I hated it. I hated every second of it.
I don't think it was a bad movie.
I left it.
But I don't think movies like that should win Best Picture.
Worthless. It's a worthless
Yes.
pile of garbage.
Yes.
And people celebrated that, and it won like every award.
It won like 11 or 12 Oscars,
and I was
didn't
like,
it?
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
We don't reward this fairy tale nonsense.
No, I want like an auteur, like a
Something.
low budget.
Give me something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or just something, I don't know.
Interesting.
It wasn't that.
Yeah,
It wasn't
real.
that.
I want something real.
That thing was as stupid as it gets. I hated that movie. And but somebody warned me who said, I know you to me.
Yeah.
And you're going to hate that. And he was right. I mean, I was like, oh, what is this? I never liked any of that junk.
I've seen the Lord of the Rings movies once, and that was enough for me. I didn't hate them, but they were fine. They were. It's whatever.
Not for me. Not my thing. Yeah. Well, do you have an overrated, underrated here today? I tell you what, overrated Lord of the Rings.
100%. I would definitely say the Star Wars is overrated.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is overrated. X-Men is overrated. Fast and the Furious is overrated.
I've never seen it.
I'm so sick of all those movies, man.
I don't care anything
Get them
about
the hell
that
out of
stuff.
here.
What is my daughter like? That one I've never seen. It's that one where there are vampires versus wolves.
Oh, Twilight?
Yeah.
Never saw any of those either.
She's team Edward.
Edward.
Yeah. She's team Edward. So I'm team Edward. But,
Okay,
but
fair
because
enough.
of that,
Fair
I'm
enough.
team Edward. But
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
20 years behind on
Yeah.
it, you know. So do you have an overrated, underrated?
You know,
here?
there's a hypothetical situation I want to run by you. I've asked a lot of my friends about this. It's mainly geared toward young single guys.
I'm perfectly right in that
So
range.
you're,
right? I'm neither of those things.
You're
but okay.
33% of the criteria.
Okay, right.
Because you're a guy.
I'm a guy. Well, loosely.
And this is a little sexual by
Barely,
nature, and I
right,
know
yeah.
this is, you go to Reddit to read sex stories
I
and
do,
stuff.
a lot.
So this may be a little interesting to you. Okay, this is a hypothetical situation, all right?
Yeah.
Let's say you're approached by 2 very good-looking lesbian women. Right?
As a single
As a
young
single
man.
20-something-year-old man, or say 30, whatever.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
approached by 2 very good-looking, a lesbian couple.
Yeah.
And they come up to you and they say, Chris, we really like you. We like the cut of your jib. We
Yeah.
like how you are physically, mentally. We like your sense of humor.
I'm loving it so far.
And we want to have a baby.
yeah.
So here's the thing. You get to have a threesome with 2 beautiful lesbian
Well, they
women.
want to do it that way. They don't want me to just
No,
you
you get to
give
have a
them my
threesome
sperm.
with both of them.
Yeah.
But one of them's getting impregnated.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter which one. They decide that before it comes out.
Yeah, yeah.
Caveat is you get to have a threesome with 2 beautiful lesbian women, and they want to have a baby. Here's the thing. you don't have to be responsible for that child at all.
Right.
They don't want any money from you.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend time with it. You don't have to see it. You don't have to be a part of it. No,
Right.
you just get to have one fun night. But they get to have their baby. Now, if you want to have a relationship with the kid, that's totally cool.
Right.
That's up to you. What do you do? Is that something that you partake in?
No,
Really?
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because I'm not good sexually.
Well, that doesn't matter.
But then they'd know it. They'd know it.
But that doesn't matter.
I'd disappoint in every way.
You know, your performance doesn't matter. It's just about they're trying to have a kid.
It's a little weird for me.
Is it?
It's a bit, yeah, because I think I would feel strange not having a relationship with the kid or having a relationship with the kid. You know, it'd be like I would not want to be put myself.
But you get to it's a totally just free thing.
I would not
do that. To have a fun night.
No, because I think that would lead to a lifetime of connection to this couple and that child. Even if I didn't want to be, I'd feel like if I got a job then half a country away, I'd think, well, I don't want to leave this.
Well, you got to put your head. You got 21-year-old Chris.
No,
you got to think about it from that.
I wouldn't have done
because
that.
Now you're older, you're married, you understand.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have done that then either.
Really?
I've always been like this. I would not have. People when I was young, they go out to the clubs, and basically I was just like, let's go home.
Let's go.
It's
go
too
get a good
loud.
night's
It's
sleep.
too loud. I always when I have to yell. I'd rather sit here and talk to you than be out, yelling and drinking and screaming with thumping music playing.
Yeah, but that's fun.
It's why I didn't have enough sex.
Yeah.
It's why I didn't. I should have had more.
Yeah, but it's just a one night thing.
No. Look, again, too strange for me.
Really?
You'd do it, I guess.
would.
You would.
100%.
Even with lesbians.
Just given that opportunity, yes.
Although I do think lesbians would be great.
See what I'm saying?
I think it'd be great in bed.
It's the ideal threesome situation, you know. And like I said, it's just a.
It is the ideal situation.
It's just a free thing.
I think I'd still turn it down.
Really?
It wouldn't be a thing for me. More power to you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I do agree. The kid thing would be weird, knowing. But then again, if it was told to me, you don't have to have anything to do with it,
but
and
I don't
I'd
think
be
you
off
could do
scot
that,
free.
But I don't think you could do that. That's hard.
I think I could.
But when you get older, you're 40. You got a 20-year-old kid.
I think I could if it was told if they told me up front, you've got no responsibility to this kid. Ooh. I would even make them sign a contract. Like in 20 years, you're not going to come say nothing to me about this.
Really?
Yeah.
But you've got a kid out there somewhere. That's a big deal.
I mean, technically, but what about people who donate sperm? They got kids out there.
I wouldn't do that either.
You wouldn't do that either?
No, I wouldn't donate. For money, I wouldn't. I don't think I would do that. Because thinking about that, because I wouldn't want to know. You hear these guys who just jerk it all over the place, and their sperm is from Knoxville to Los Angeles, and they've got 50 kids.
But you're doing a good thing. You're doing a good thing. You're letting you're giving somebody the magic of birth.
Right, look at me. You want my sperm? Nobody.
Well,
nobody wants that.
Nobody would want mine either. But I'm just saying that's the part. That's the part of the hypothetical.
I'm unshaven. You've got cheesesteak grease on your gut. There's no.
I know.
My
Maybe
God,
I should have cleaned up before I asked that question.
They would probably say, "Is this the sperm?" No, this is cheesecake grease. It didn't work. But there's cheesecake.
Sorry, we
cheesesteak.
switched up the cup. We mixed up the cup.
It's cheesesteak grease here. Who's going to win the World Series?
Oh, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
No, they may not even be in it by the time this airs.
The Arizona Diamondbacks.
No.
That's my pick.
I'll take the Phillies to win it. Even though they may not be. We're taping this on the day they play Game 7.
I'm so happy the Astros lost.
Oh, my God. It was wonderful.
I cannot. I watched the last out of that game just to see Jose Altuve cry.
That son of a. I can't.
I hate that
I hate
dude.
the Astros.
The fact that he's still in the league.
I know. It's awful.
And those dudes had nothing happen to them.
Awful.
They didn't remove a banner.
Nothing.
They didn't suspend anybody.
It's awful.
Nothing.
It's awful. And you're a Yankees fan.
Exactly.
You should be more upset than anybody.
We should have won that year.
I hate them.
They stole Rookie of the Year from Aaron Judge. Jose Altuve
He did. It's awful. And I was thrilled. And when they went up 3-2 after winning that dramatic game, I thought, well, that's over with. And then Texas came back. Good
Kicked
for Texas.
the hell out of them, too.
Bruce Bochy's a great manager.
He is.
We should get into that next week when the World Series is going on.
Yeah.
Listen, that was a great one. I enjoyed that.
I did
enjoyed
too.
that. Let me recommend some shows to you here. We'll call you off the air. I'll recommend a few shows.
Please do.
Enjoy. Thanks very much. Square and the Round.